Hey everyone, it's Mary back here with Who Is She? And this time we are going to talk about being the it girl. So I don't know, this is going to date me, but I don't know if you know or remember, ever heard of the Mary Tyler Moore Show or That Girl with Marlo Thomas. So those were the icons that I grew up with on TV every week. These two single professional women. Now, that was a big deal back in the day. It made me reflect a lot on the people that I saw, that I observed, that I wanted to emulate or be like. What I find now is that I'm still reflecting back on them. Like, that's how much of a impact that they had on my life. And when I look at where I am now and where I might be going and how things for me will change in my next decade, I began to look at how my life played out, how it zigzagged. It was not straight. It was a train wreck in my 20s. My 30s, I began to dig myself out and kind of get a little bit of footing in my career. So my dream when I was a little girl was to have a retail store. In my 40s, I had written in a journal one time when I was in my 20s, after my train wreck, or during my train wreck, I think it was, that by the time I was 40, I was going to have my first retail store. Well, come to my late 30s, I was ready. I felt like I had done the work. And then finally, by the end of my 30s, after working for some really amazing retail organizations, international organizations, I took that leap. And 2 weeks before my 40th birthday, I opened up my first retail store. That was when I look back on this transition, because when I look at the shows from Mary Tyler Moore or That Girl, their life was a series of ups and downs. It wasn't that they were just successful from the get-go and like that was smooth sailing and that was it. And when I look back on it, when I look back on my own life, it kind of gave me permission to be okay with how my life turned out, with all the ups and downs, twists and turns, traumas, joy, all of it mixed. It's a mixed bag, as life should be, a mixed bag. So in my 50s, I had sold one of my retail stores, and it was time. I had learned what I needed to learn. So how many times do you hang on to something because it's comfortable? Now, my 60s took me to Poland, where I have been for the past, this year is my 12th year living abroad. When I say that, I just can't even believe like my own words, which was a whole different learning experience. Some people call me brave. Certainly courageous is a word that I would use. Crazy, lunatic, like badass, all of that together. So now, as I am coming into my 70th decade, I am looking at all of these experiences that I have had, that I created. So where are you right now in your life? Can you actually say that you created that? Now, listen, if your life is a train wreck, then you created that also. When you take the time to look at, if your life is a train wreck and you created that, because you played part in it. You said yes when maybe you didn't, when you needed to say no. You were looking for love in all the wrong places. Hello? You know, like, what part did you play so that you can point your fingers back at yourself, take some ownership, be like, okay, so this train wreck that happened in my 20s was definitely, yeah, I had a huge part to play in that. Where in your life have you had a huge part to play in something that, you know, honestly, it's about time that you own it so that you can move on? So there are so many opportunities available to us. Sometimes I think that that is part of the reason, or a really big reason, why a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in their head that they just don't know what direction to go because there's so much to choose from. And I am begging you to just choose something. It doesn't have to be the right one. It doesn't have to be the right one. You just have to be present and just notice. So these choices that we have, like what I have coming into my 70th decade, and wherever you are in your journey, in my 70th decade, are so vast that I needed this time, this year. I needed this year to get out of my head because I was so stuck in my head about the not knowing. And it's okay not to know, but it's not okay to stay stuck and not move. That's up to me. It's up to you. I was recently turned on to this exercise that I found extremely helpful for me. It is a little woo-woo. I'm totally going to lay that out there for you. It's a little woo-woo, but for me, I found it very helpful and really was able to reflect a lot on my life and this woman who is sitting across from me that's going to take my hand into this next unfolding of me. And so it was like I wanted to trust, I needed to learn to trust her. I needed to learn to ask her for help. I needed to learn to open up and confide in her and be honest and vulnerable with what she was going to share with me. So imagine she is sitting across from me, I'm sitting across from myself. Okay, there's the woo-woo part, but just bear with me, just hang in with me. So imagine that she's sitting across from you enough so that you can touch her knee. And I want you to be able to look into her eyes. So this vision that you have of yourself, like for instance, in my Pinterest, I have a folder on Pinterest that's called My Style. And it has images of women of what I want to look like how the images have like feelings, right? They emanate feelings. That's why imagery is so powerful. That's why vision boards work, is because imagery is so powerful for the brain. So I have her sitting across from me just how I imagined that I would be. But it's not me now. It's me a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And she has a bit of wisdom to share with me. She knows who I am. She knows what I'm capable of, even though maybe I don't believe it. I don't see it in myself, but she does. She has been with me all along. She's been right there with me, noticing, trying to divert me from disaster. She's been there to give me a push when I needed to do something that I didn't think that I could do. But now she's here. She's in the room with me. She's sitting across from me, and she's just looking right at me in my eyes. And as you are looking in her eyes, and maybe you are touching her knee, holding her hand, I want you to ask her either out loud or just in your head, like you are transmitting this laser beam thought to her without any judgment. What does she want you to know about yourself? What does she want you to know? Kind of like if you were talking to your best friend and you were telling her what you see in her or what you think that she's capable of. And maybe it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable having somebody in your head say something amazing to you about something that you have done or created in your life. And once she's told you some things that maybe you might be a little surprised at, when I did this exercise, she helped me to take a look at these moments in life. And they were moments in life when I did extraordinary things. And I kind of take them for granted because I never stopped to celebrate and go, you did what? Where did you find the courage to do that? How did you do that? She helped me to remember those moments. She also helped me to remember or reflect back on the moments when I was filled with self-doubt and life turned out amazing anyway. What most surprises her, because this is your wiser, older version of you, either a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. What is she most surprised about in where you are right now, and knowing that you have all of this life experience, knowing where all of that life experience can take you? What most surprises her about what's available to you? Because as I said, she pointed out to me times when I didn't trust myself, didn't own my actions, didn't believe that success was in my genre, that I wasn't the one that was supposed to be successful. She showed that to me. And then she ran through this list of all of these things that I had done throughout my life and throughout my career that I totally forgot about, even from times in high school, that I had totally forgotten about, that I created. Like, I did those things. She just began to rattle off these things of how I got to this woman and what is with all of that mishmash, that bag, that jumble, that suitcase full of dirty laundry, of what is available to me now. I found it fascinating. It also helped me to take a look at the things that I have let go. Because when I've talked about this before, when we let go of something, we might experience grief we let go of our relationship, for instance, we're certainly going to experience some kind of grief and then happiness, elation sometimes. Anyway, but when we let go of something, then we're harboring some ill feelings towards someone. There is a little bit of grief when, or there's let me say, it's for me, it wasn't grief, it was an empty space that I needed to fill a void. So for instance, my first husband, when that divorce was over and the pain and hurt, and I was able to get on with my life and find myself, I was able to let go of, I was able to release the power that those ill thoughts had, that I had toward him. I was able to release them and actually thank him for showing me that that's not the kind of relationship that I want in my life, and I'm okay with that. Like, that was a great lesson. Once I was able to release that, it wasn't about the guilt or the loss. It was more about, I had this void now that I could either fill with more negative relationships, more negative people around me, or I could fill them with new positive experiences and try something new that might scare me, that might push me into a different realm of my life, it was scary. I'll say it was scary. But I had to lean into her. I had to touch her. I had to take her hand and know or trust that she had something better in store for me, that she knew more than I did. So this empty chair exercise for me was an amazing look at my life. Like, I immediately filled 3 pages in my journal with thoughts that had come up from sitting across from myself in my older, wiser, more sassy, sexy self. I got to see this woman that I want to emulate her. I want to be her, just like the images that I see in my Pinterest folder. Like, I think, oh, I want to be that, like her. No, I want to be her. This woman that has all of this stuff, the ugly stuff, the beautiful stuff, the stuff in between. I want to be her, but I want to own it. I want to embody her. So this session, this chat, is about the it girl. The it girl being you. That version of you that knows, she's knowing, she has all the knowing. So ask her the questions, have a chat with her, whether it's in your head, whether you say it verbally, but make sure that you have a pen and paper, because I think that you might come up with something really cool. So don't forget to send me a message about something that you might have discovered about yourself, because I read every single one of your emails every single month. But go ahead and take a look at that. Take a look at who she is and what she knows about you that just might surprise you. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know either in the comments in this email or sending me an email at mary.inspires@gmail.com. I look forward to reading your comments about the empty chair exercise and see what it meant for you. So until next time,